Make the strings louder.
Alright, what's up guys? We're trying out a video on this little GoPro Hero session right there. So you can see him a nice polished Saab. Hopefully you guys can see that. But anyhow, so now that this thing's pretty much as much as I'm going to do with it, other than get like the salvage title inspected, which I still need to do that stuff, do a couple more buttoning things up to that this week. This thing needs painted, so pretty much the only thing that I need to do is sand the rear bumper because it's still shiny, and then sand the front fender, and then couple these little other pieces over here. So, which I don't even know if I'm going to actually respray them, but we might be doing a different process for the candy using DBC 500 instead of putting it in the clear. So that might make it look a little bit different. But I guess one of the issues is that I'm trying to get a look at this thing, a paint booth. I'm trying to figure out a paint booth. I borrowed the neighbor's paint booth and it just didn't work out that well. Kind of dirty, had a bunch of random stuff in it, and basically since then I've seen some of the paint jobs that have like I've basically seen the same thing happen to my car in other cars, but those cars were different colors, so it's easy to like cut and buff the dirt or whatever out of them, and it doesn't make like dark spots in the candy. So anyhow, I found this on Facebook, which this is a large canopy frame, and so the lady wanted like 50 bucks for it, but she ended up I don't know, I guess this other lady said she was gonna come get it like Monday night, and then didn't end up getting it, and was supposed to get it today, which today's Tuesday, and then didn't end up getting it today, and then is supposed to be getting it tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So hopefully she just like says screw that other lady. Well, she won't say screw that other lady, and so that other lady's basically giving her the runaround, and she won't sell it to me until that other lady like finally comes and gets it supposedly tomorrow. I don't know, but basically the plan was I was just gonna get a like some plastic, like some 6mm plastic sheeting, and go over it, basically put it right here kind of close to the door, and you know, put some filters on it, some intake and exhaust, and some box fans, and make my own paint booth. So Harbor Freight does sell one there, but it's 20 by 10, so it's only 10 feet wide. With this thing, I mean, that would basically give me enough room, I believe. So you can see this Collins box, I haven't talked about that yet, but that's almost as much room as I would have going down the side. So I mean, imagine trying to like paint a car like with that much room and not being able to like touch an air hoses and all that crap. That other one is like 20 by 12, so it gives you a couple more feet, but still kind of short. So I guess today's goal is going to be to run into town and kind of go to Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that and take a look at some of like their conduit or their PVC or, you know, stuff like that, and try to figure out something to make kind of a ghetto paint booth. One of the things I don't like about PVC is you can see that PVC is basically it's really bendable, and so it just kind of has a big old droop in it, and nobody wants nobody wants like a floppy booth. That's why I kind of liked that one that she had, because basically the tarp was already bad on it, and so the tarp wasn't included. It was only 50 bucks for the frame, and a new tarp was like, well, that canopy that she had new is like 600 bucks. So it's actually a decent canopy, and it's like I said 12 foot wide, and I was planning on using my own plastic anyhow, just so I could seal it up really good myself with like nice new stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the dilemma. So I guess we're gonna go run to the couple of the stores around here and see what we could find, and then also I'm seeing how the video is on this little GoPro thing, because sometimes it'd be nice to be kind of lazy, like instead of hauling this thing around all day, which that thing weighs like a pound, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think about making videos with that?
I'm not a girl, so.
Oh, whatever. But
hey, look at these arms.
Dave's little squirt gun over there. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So yeah, we come over here to Big R. Look, they already have a booth ready for us set up outside.
That would almost be funny.
That'd be perfect. Be like, hey, are you guys getting rid of that?
It's like open. No, that'd be funny because they leave it.
That's literally perfect.
They leave it out here at night. Just come over here.
Use it. Just borrow it. you'd have to obviously like seal it up.
Perfect.
It's like the perfect size too.
Yeah, but it's like open.
You know. But so my idea, so what if we just got conduit and we just did this? You basically just bent it.
I mean, it'd almost be better to do a PVC though.
And look what they did. Basically it just has smashed ends on it. You just smash the ends and bolt it together. I don't know, ideas. So they have PVC stuff here. Dave wants PVC.
I mean, I think we could do PVC.
I don't know
We
what
could
I
also
want.
do like thicker stuff like this.
Yeah, but that's gonna be expensive though.
No.
Like if it was a big, like if we made the whole booth out of that, that would work.
I mean, you'd have like, well, you wouldn't have these. You'd have like the, unless you did like 90s, but you could do the 45
I mean,
ones.
that's like $2. I mean, that's not terrible, I guess.
I think they're cheaper.
Yeah, look at
I
that.
think
45. That'd be the roof right there.
Yeah.
But how much is the tube though, or the pipe?
Well, it comes in like, we need the trailer. It comes in long sections. They're cheap.
See, I was thinking
You-
if
you
you got
only-
like
you
conduit
only
stuff like this.
You only need 4 things, and then you can run the air through it.
But this looks like it gets, well, that's copper, but
And then we wouldn't even have to.
but like this, 3/4. Look at that. I think this is 10-foot sticks.
We'd want one.
Well, I know, but if you like arched one for the roof,
Yeah, and then connect it. I mean, with that stuff, you could just like, you could almost like just slip it together, like cut everything,
yeah,
and then take it apart. And then
This.
put it, yeah.
PVC. I don't know. I kind of like the conduit because then it's metal, it's rigid. You could weld to it if you want.
This is.
Well, yeah, that's gonna be rigid too. We'd have to see what a
Well,
tube of that
need to
would
go-
cost.
We need to go Lowe's. They don't
Alright.
have the long tubes here.
we might get something else. Oh, Dave wanted to build a cheetah out of one
Yeah,
of
be
these.
like, hey guys, I'm gonna. You're like, trying to
Open that cheetah up real quick. Oh, I need a ball valve for my compressor. Over here.
Ball valve for the cheetah.
Yeah, but I don't know what
It's
size
right
it
there.
is. I
Right
need
there.
what? Yeah, I do need another one of those. Because for the cheetah that we have, it doesn't.
This is the perfect one. I think this is the right size.
How much is it? $32 for that ball valve.
Oh, look how good it is. Holy shit.
Yeah, Dave just broke himself.
Just pop my wrist.
I need a 3/4 ball valve for my air compressor because
man.
mine leaks. Dave came to
Get some chitlins.
Big R to try and pick up some chicks.
Wait, why is it sticking its head now? Is there food in there?
Look at him. Dave's picking up chicks. Here, point at that. Smile.
$3.
We're at the old green box. Orange box. The orange box. So this was kind of an idea I thought of last week, was taking some of like this irrigation, how it has these holes in it. And what you could do is you could almost like either cap off one end or put just like a K&N air filter like on each end, and then use those as like the upper beams of the booth, or just have it running through like the center. And then so it would almost be like that's where the fresh air would come in, would be coming through those through like a filtered on each end.
I almost have that area that's getting sucked out. Go through those under the car, on the sides or something.
Or put 2 of them underneath the car so it's like a downdraft.
Or on the sides.
Yeah, on the sides of the car, like running down the rocker panels, and it just was sucking.
Or like on the side of the whole thing.
Yeah. But on the bottom of the car would be kind of nice because it would just pull it straight down. 'Cause that's what a
Yeah, but
regular.
you have that chance that it's gonna pull the shit through it.
I don't know. PVC though, because PVC, you definitely have to get the bigger PVC.
Yeah, that stuff's flimsy.
Yeah, that's really flimsy. I don't like that.
This is perfect.
Even it's like $8
Well, I mean, you'd
$8 a piece. What about this? Because this is $5 a piece. I mean, that's better, but it's still only 10-foot lengths.
Yeah, but you're gonna need.
Because I want it like 14 wide.
You're gonna need.
Oh, still thinking. So here's the option for, got some 6mm 10 by 100 feet. It's basically clear plastic sheeting, so it's pretty thick, not black, because we want it to be able to shine some light through it. But yeah, it's $58 for that, and that should probably do. That'd probably do the 10 foot by 100, or the 20 foot would probably be better. For 60 versus 100.
That's 100 there, and then probably like if you figure like 200 in that plastic.
This was another idea that I had, was the top rail for fencing, but that's kind of expensive. What do you think T Swift thinks?
I don't know. We could just do that and do chicken wire. That'll keep all the dust out.
Yeah, I think that's a good filter probably. Or we could just concrete a nice booth in the shop. Cinder blocks, we could just build a cinder block one. But then it's not quick release. We need a quick release paint booth. So the other option that I was looking at was one of these Shelter Logic. It's a 10 by 20 canopy. And this one comes with the enclosure kit, so you can see that it actually encloses the sides, and then it has a zipper going down the front. So I don't know. That's kind of interesting. That would almost be nice because it would just like bolt together, and then you can take it apart. But $249 options. Look at that. Look, it's like a heads-up display. You can see how much time you have left on it, and it's got rubber on the bottom of it.
I mean, if you were like ripping it, probably be mad.
Yeah, but if you just wanted to talk,
I mean, it probably wouldn't stay there. Like, you probably can't see stuff if you right now. It's dark. I don't know how they're low light, but GoPros are usually pretty bad.
It has an auto night mode on it.
GoPros are usually pretty bad at nighttime.
Yeah. So anyhow, guys, that's pretty much our trip to Home Depot. Apologize, my steering wheel's getting in the way.
Well, you should have went.
The other option is the Harbor Freight ones are only, guess how much they are? They're $120. Look at River. Alright, back to the shop we go. Hi guys, so back at the shop now. Basically been just kind of hanging out here for a little bit. Me and Dave went and ate, and just kind of trying to really decide like this whole paint booth situation. Kind of getting back here, looking around and trying to figure out what I could actually do with it. But there's a lot of kind of clutter and random stuff from the whole Saab project. Basically after I was done with it last week, I just kind of parked it right there. And this weekend I did a little bit of, I guess you'd call it landscaping at my house. I got like 120 tons of rock and road base delivered at my house, or like a mixture. And basically spread it all around because there's basically no landscaping at my house. So rented a Bobcat with my brother, and I was supposed to have it all delivered on like Friday. And we had the skid steer, or we had the skid steer all weekend. It was a Bobcat, but it's a skid steer. Had that delivered on Friday, and then was supposed to have the rock on Friday. It was too windy here, and basically the big end dump semis, they weren't able to actually, or they didn't want to deliver it on Friday. They don't run on the weekends because we got it direct from the quarry. Yeah, so got that delivered on Monday at 6 in the morning. We were supposed to have got it delivered at like 8 in the morning, the first load, and then had to have 3 more loads come after that. Yeah, anyhow, got the rock spread. Had to turn in the skid a little bit late, but pretty much got it all done. That was the first time I've operated a skid steer for anything other than just kind of dicking around and, like trying to dig a hole or do something. But it was definitely cool. I think I put like 10 hours or something on it, and it was pretty funny because the baby was basically hanging out. I didn't put 10 hours. I think it was like 6 or so. I had it the night before and was kind of cleaning up the yard, but it was funny because the baby was basically in the front yard, not in the front yard, in the, like watching out of the front window, like licking the window and stuff. So it was hilarious. Yeah, another cool thing is that I have been listing a couple things for sale on Craigslist. So I did have a Turbo 400 transmission over here that I ended up selling. So you guys ought to be proud of me. I have the KTM 500 listed for sale. I have the ZX6R listed for sale. I went ahead and I threw the F350 up for sale. So yeah, I don't know. I got things for sale. But anyhow, I'm gonna clean this up and just go from there, I guess. GoPro. Alright, so I went ahead and I finally cut up Jamie's bumper after I've had it basically sitting up on the shelf for like 2 years. A lot of you guys might be wondering, or a lot of people, it was basically just sitting up there on the shelf, and everybody's like, why don't you throw that damn thing away? And I'm surely glad I didn't, because there's a lot of little clips that I needed off of all this front end stuff for that bumper. So since I robbed the bumper off of the flood car that was supposed to go on this car for Jamie's car, I needed a bunch of little clips. So a good example of that would be like right there. So you can see there's that little metal thing. I should almost take this off. I'm going to take that off before I throw it away. But so there's a bunch of little clips like that basically like the fog lights and everything screwed into like right here. And tons of little stuff like that, miscellaneous. Oh, look, there's another one. That's valuable stuff. But yeah, so I basically needed a bunch of random little stuff like that. There's also like the air intake, the ambient air temp sensor, and a bunch of little things like that. So I went ahead and I saved the grill, saved this little thing, and then this lower aero valance or whatever. So yeah, I guess I'm a hoarder, but I'm glad I am. It's always nice when your hoarding is justified in a project like this. I'm glad I saved that. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the dumpster, throw the rest of this crap out. This isn't necessarily the biggest, I guess, like, dramatic, like, before and after cleanup, but it's at least to that point to where I could actually move around in here and work. My brother was messing with this. I had this HX, I believe this is an HX35 or an HE something, HE3451, I don't know, something like that. But my brother has a 4BT Cummins in a C10, like a short and wide Chevy with a manual transmission. It's 4-wheel drive and all that stuff. And so I might show you that a little bit later this week. I'm going to be trying to do maybe daily uploads this week, just kind of get me back in the swing of things. But I'm going to take this up to the trash. Alright, so we're in the office now. I just kind of wanted to touch on this whole paint booth subject and trying to figure out exactly what in the hell to do about it. So here's the option. So here's that Shelter Logic thing I found at Home Depot earlier. It's like 250 bucks. This does come with the enclosure. So you can see right there it has like a roll-up door in the front that has zippers going down the side. And that's 250 bucks, but that's 10 feet by 20 feet. There's a guy on YouTube that basically did one of these out of like a wedding tent. And this is like a 10 by, basically like a 10 by 20 home built by Jeff. And he basically painted, he had a Porsche. You can see, where is it at? A little bit of the Porsche. Yeah, right there. So he did a restoration on that and basically painted it in there. He did get a little bit of dirt, and then like changed it so it's like a positive pressure. So he basically has, let's see, like right here, he has like an inlet fan, and then on this back, so this is the inlet fan, and then on the back side he has like a suction fan, basically using the same thing. So once it's all blown up, it's actually positive pressure. So that's kind of one thing to keep in mind. He basically just went through and taped all of the seams and edges. I think a 10 by 20 is going to be a little bit small to paint the Supra. So I was looking at this right here, which this is a 13 by 26 heavy duty outdoor wedding tent, party tent, garage, whatever. 389 bucks. I could have saved 15% today, but I missed out on an eBay coupon. So I would have been able to save like 50 bucks off of that, because max is 50 on that, or for the savings. But yeah, anyhow, I think that wouldn't be a bad option. Just hook up my own, filter and fan system on it. The other option is, if you guys have seen like these inflatable, like Chinese paint booths. So this is a really cheap one, not really cheap, but kind of cheap. You can see it inflates. That one, obviously, that one right here in the picture looks a lot better than that one. But $1,295 for a blow-up paint booth, and it comes basically from China itself via DHL, which that shipping is, I think, like, almost 2 weeks or so. So not terrible, but part of the reason I don't really like these things is you could see in this photo of one is they have basically you need two of the fans, one to blow up the thing and keep it inflated all the time. So in order to have like a car in there, or if you're going to have the car sit in there overnight, it would literally have to be running the whole time. The fan would be running the whole time. Let's say if like you did so-called have like an issue with it, like the power went out, you popped a breaker, like that thing's gonna deflate on your car. If any of you guys have used these, let me know. Like I said, the shop neighbor rented one previously, or used one previously when they're doing some hell jobs, and it worked good for, you know, small panels and stuff. But doing a whole car, it got really, really foggy in there because one of these fans basically, I don't know, basically the whole time it's up, it deflates. So there's inside of there's like little holes, and it just, that's where the air comes out, and then it comes out of the back over there on like a filter, you know, to kind of, I don't know, it's interesting how it works. So that's kind of sketchy, but you can see $5,000 to $3,000, and this is directly on Alibaba plus shipping and all that other stuff. So I'm not really sure what to do, but I did find another company that that I'm basically talking to, and they have a really, really nice one. Here, let me find it. So this is the one that I found on online, and one of the things that I really, really like about it is so this is basically a toy company. They have like blow up toys and like, you know, children's and slides and like bounce houses and stuff like that. And so you could kind of customize the colors. It has its own air pump, so it basically blows itself up, and then it just stays inflated. So you can see that all that stuff in there is hard. And then it basically uses one of those fans and kind of has like an air room, I guess. It kind of blows up this back air room, and then the fresh air comes out of there, the fresh filtered air comes out of there, and then it kind of blows it out of the sides right here. And that is very, very similar to a company called Carkoon. If you guys are familiar with their stuff, I think one of their booths is around 10 grand, which is expensive for, I don't know, for a temporary paint booth. But I got quoted at this one around $2,000, plus shipping would be like $300. So we're looking at like, you know, $2,400 or so for that. But that's obviously a much better paint booth. It's something that's reusable, that you could put up and down, you know, within a couple minutes. You know, let's say 10 minutes to like set it up, and probably, you know, 15-20 minutes to pull it down and, you know, like put it all away and all that stuff. So that's not bad. You know, obviously it's going to be a little bit more involved with, let's say something like one of these tents. You know, like him, how he went through and he had to basically tape the whole thing all the way around in order to kind of get it sealed up. But I don't know. Those are most of the options. The other thing is out here in the shop. So I was kind of looking at this area over here, kind of like a corridor. I was almost assuming I could just hang tarps kind of on the side, and then this could be my paint booth, and then I could kind of have like a little box in the back and have kind of the exhaust going outside, and then kind of suck like warm air from out of the shop, so that at least I have warm air going through the booth and it's kind of exhausting it outside, and then I could kind of leave that, I don't know, something like that. I definitely think, you know, from painting the bumpers and stuff on the Saab this last week, they didn't turn out too bad. But, you know, obviously I feel like I would still have issues with the candy, and I feel like I wouldn't really have these issues if I was painting it white or black or, you know, red or anything other than a candy like that. It really is an issue. And I think when I go to respray it again, like I think I talked about a little bit earlier, we're using DBC 500 to put the candy coat in, or the tinted coat in, like the transparent basically kind of base to get it out there, versus a clear coat. So if something does happen, let's say I get a bug or a speck of dirt or something, I could basically let it dry for 15-20 minutes, sand it out, you know, redo that panel or whatever. But I could actually correct it, versus basically once it's clear coated, you can't touch it for, you know, a couple hours or days, or you got to sand basically all the way back through it and redo everything. So that's another option, is actually just kind of hanging stuff in here. You know, since I already have, that's almost 3/4 of kind of essentially a booth right there, it wouldn't be bad to basically just kind of bridge across there and then almost make like a little, I don't know, it wouldn't be bad to do that. And then I could almost frame something right here with either PVC or wood, figure out something with like a little bit of a door, and then, you know, something to get the car in and out. So that's kind of my dilemma. So the other issue is that last booth that the inflatable one I showed you, shipping via DHL, like air mail, would be, they're quoting it like $2 grand, which is insane. And then shipping it like via boat would be like $380, but then you'd have to wait like a month. So I don't know. I guess the other thing is I'm basically waiting on that lady on Facebook Marketplace to let me know if that A-frame thing is still available. I think that would almost be the, you know, one of the cheapest options and simplest options for me, and then I could literally go get it tomorrow, get some plastic and frame some inlet and outlet fans and go like that, because I definitely think like a positive pressure type booth is what's gonna help this whole paint situation out. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys would think. I think I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like the inflatable booth would be really, really cool. But at the same time, I don't really want to wait for it. I want to kind of get this project moving along. Unless I do a 2J swap in the Mustang in the meantime. But I don't know. Kind of would really like to get the Supra going. You know, at least get the paint done and finalized, so that way I could start doing the engine stuff, start assembling it, putting it together. Yeah, that's gonna be it for today in this video. Like I said, I might try to do some more daily style things and kind of get me back motivated into making the videos, because I don't know, I've been unmotivated because I feel like I don't have a whole lot to do, and then I ended up making like one 40-minute video of doing like a whole process on a car. But again, appreciate you guys watching. If you guys want to stay tuned during this week, be sure, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification, and that'll let you guys know exactly when I upload the videos. But also let me know what you think of this GoPro footage, because this is basically all off of this GoPro today, other than like the time lapse of me cleaning the shop. So yeah, catch you probably tomorrow.